Fairy tales, like civilization, are way older than we think. We've been conditioned to think all our lives that time is linear, that it flows unidimensionally and unidirectionally. But this is in fact just a mode of conscious interpretation. It's just the way conscious minds at our collective level of understanding make sense of infinity or infinite potential. We see, for example, the head of an ancient statue and a couple of massive stone feet sticking out of the desert sands, together with a sign that says, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair." And we instantly begin to build a narrative around the available information. We are constantly being presented with a new piece in the unending jigsaw puzzle of creation. How well does that new piece fit in with all the other pieces that coalesce in divine emergence out of the void? But with time and wisdom, we discover that they are not, in fact, jigsaw pieces at all, because jigsaw pieces only fit together one way to make one specific picture. No, the new information that comes to us out of the void is more likened to Lego pieces than jigsaw pieces. Lego pieces fit together with far more permutations than jigsaw pieces. Not only do they have an extra dimension of depth to them, but they can be disassembled and reassembled in entirely new permutations that are both pleasing to behold and satisfy the physical requirements of their assembly. Let me simplify what I mean by this. Imagine a very simple 20-piece jigsaw. There is only one correct permutation of the 20 pieces. They can only be assembled in one that makes a coherent picture emerge from the disparate pieces. If one were to attempt other permutations, one would fail to make a coherent picture. The pieces do not match and they do not fit together any other way. Now imagine a very simple 20-piece Lego set. It may come assembled into a very specific shape or form, but that form is only one possible permutation of the pieces among many. The pieces are capable of being disassembled and reassembled in countless new ways that satisfy the physical requirements of their assembly. That is, they fit together more than one way and with more than one piece. Reality works in a more similar sense to a Lego set than a jigsaw puzzle, but on a vastly more complex scale, I would suggest. Our schools, our parents, our teachers and our scientists have assembled the countless bits of information available to our senses and that remain in the world from the dim and distant past in certain ways and have treated it more like a jigsaw puzzle than a Lego set. They have taught us that this is the picture. This is the correct way to assemble the information available to us. Reality is a jigsaw puzzle, they teach us. And this is where all the pieces go, and this is the picture it makes. But suppose we're not actually playing with jigsaw pieces. What if we're playing with an enormous Lego set, metaphorically speaking? Then the massive stone head of Ozymandias, King of Kings, may fit into all kinds of scenarios and may evoke all kinds of narratives that form a coherent shape. Then, for example, the Great Pyramid need not have been built, for example, exactly when and how we are told it was. Perhaps their pieces fit better another way. Did you know that the Great Pyramid is constructed of about 2.5 million blocks? Now, if you had 2.5 million blocks of Lego that were scaled down replicas of these pyramid blocks and were able to assemble them in the correct order at the rate of one piece every 10 seconds, it would still take you the best part of a whole year to assemble the whole thing, assuming no sleep and no rest breaks. Now ask yourself how well the incumbent narrative fits with the real Great Pyramid, given that its builders allegedly hadn't yet invented the wheel, hadn't yet smelted iron, hadn't yet domesticated the horse, and hadn't yet heard of Pythagoras' theorem. And yet they somehow still managed to quarry, cut, transport, and assemble those 2.5 million blocks, each weighing between 3 and 80 tons, allegedly in 20 years, putting them together so precisely that they align more perfectly with the geographic North Pole than Greenwich Observatory, which was built several thousand years later. It's a cool story, bro, isn't it? Now, I tell cool story bros too. The latest one is called The Livella. It's an audio story set in pre-diluvian times, meaning before the Great Flood. I use many of the bits and pieces of information we have about Atlantis, the theories of Nikola Tesla, astrotheology and folklore, as well as many other disciplines, and weave them into my own narrative. Why not check out the Livella at your leisure? You can find it on Alpine's Imagination Workshop at www.imagician.org.